You won't believe what just happened. The entire world is in shock as Vybz Kartel leaves Kenyans speechless after publicly mourning the death of Raila Odinga.
I believe strongly that no matter our disagreements, our visions and disappointments, we have to have our country first.
His tribute post saying, "Rest in peace, Baba Odinga," has left millions emotional, united and in total disbelief. But that is not all. Platnumz has joined in with an emotional message that is now going viral, and the Kenyan artists like Prince Indah and Bahati have dropped heart-shattering tribute songs. And just when you thought that it couldn't get any bigger, Kenya Airways flight KQ203 carrying Raila's body from Mumbai, India to Kenya changed its call sign mid-air to RAO 001, becoming the most tracked flight in the world with over 22,000 live watchers. This nation is in tears, the internet is exploding, and the moment is going down in history. Stay tuned because what happens next is going to shake the entire continent.
Ndio tunaingia sasa. Huyo sasa baba amewasili maeneo.
On October 15th, 2025, the world woke up to the news that shook the African continent to its core. Former Kenyan Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, affectionately known as Baba, passed away at the age of 80 in Kochi, India after suffering cardiac arrest during a morning walk. The man who had shaped Kenya's democracy for over 4 decades, who had run for presidential seat 5 times, who had spent years of detention fighting for multi-party democracy, was gone, and the news hit Kenya like a tidal wave, and within hours, something extraordinary began to unfold, something that would unite the nation in ways no one could have predicted.
Raila kukatwa mguu leo, Raila amekufa. Kwani walikuwa wanaficha nini?
From international celebrities to local musicians, from political leaders to ordinary citizens, the tributes began pouring in. But these are not just ordinary condolences. These are powerful, emotional, and in some cases, absolutely shocking responses that left Kenyans and the world watching in disbelief. The first bombshell came from an unexpected source, Jamaican dancehall legend Vybz Kartel. And yes, you heard me right. Within hours of Raila's death being announced, Cartel took to his TikTok account with a tribute that has left Kenyans absolutely speechless. But this wasn't just a simple post of a generic message of condolence. The dancehall superstar posted a video himself reenacting one of Raila's most legendary speeches, the speech that had originally been delivered when Raila and President William Ruto signed a memorandum of understanding at the Kenyatta International Convention Center back in June 2025, at the height of the nationwide protest that had rocked the country.
I believe strongly that no matter our disagreements, our visions and disappointments, we have to have our country first.
Vybz Kartel, with a distinctive style and voice, channeled Raila's powerful oratory, his gestures, his passion, his fire, and then he added his own words of condolence, captioning the video, "Rest in peace, Baba Odinga, the legend Raila Amolo Odinga." Kenyans flooded the comment section, expressing shock, gratitude, and disbelief that an international superstar like Vybz Kartel not only knew about Raila Odinga, but understood his legacy deeply enough to pay such a meaningful tribute. But Vybz Kartel wasn't the only international superstar paying tribute, and what comes next is going to blow your mind. Platnumz, Tanzania's biggest musical export and bongo flavor king, has a special connection with Raila Odinga that many people didn't know about, and when the news broke about Baba's passing, Diamond's silence spoke volumes until he finally broke it with an emotional response that has had Kenyans remembering their shared history. Let me take you back to August 6th, 2022. It was the final day of campaigning before Kenya's general election. The Azimio la Umoja coalition, led by Raila Odinga, was holding their last major rally at Kasarani Stadium in Nairobi. And then, out of nowhere, a helicopter landed at the stadium. Platnumz stepped out and the crowd went wild. The Tanzanian superstar, who had been celebrating his daughter Princess Tifa's 7th birthday in South Africa, had flown into Kenya on his private jet specifically for that moment. He arrived with his daughter under very tight security, and what followed was one of the most electrifying performances in Kenya's political history. Diamond took to the stage wearing a white vest, later covering it with a black hoodie bearing Raila's image. He performed his hit song Babalao, but with modified lyrics praising Raila Odinga and his running mate Martha Karua. Then came the endorsements that made headlines. Diamond, standing before Raila, declared, "Nataka nikuambie, vijana wanakuamini sana, nchi inakuaminia sana, na wewe ndiye rais anayefuata." Translating to, "I want to tell you that the youth believe in you, the country believes in you, and you are the next Kenyan president that everyone is looking forward to." Fast forward to October 15th of 2025, when news of Raila's death broke. Diamond Platnumz's emotional tribute reminded Kenyans of that Kasarani moment, while we hadn't released an official statement at the time of his recording. Social media was flooded with videos of Diamond and Raila dancing together, and Diamond's passionate endorsement of the bond between two East African giants. Now buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you is perhaps the most incredible part of this story. On the evening of October 15th, a Kenyan Airways flight KQ-2002 departed from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi, heading to Mumbai, India, its mission to bring Raila Odinga home. The flight carried Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who led the government delegation to coordinate the repatriation of Raila's remains. As KQ-20 flew through the night sky towards India, something extraordinary happened. On Flight Radar 24, the world's most popular flight tracking application, the plane became the second most tracked flight in the entire world. Over 7,000 people were following its journey in real time. 7,000 people watching a plane cross continents, making every mile, every kilometer, and every moment that brought them closer to bringing Baba home. By midnight, it had climbed to number 1, the most tracked flight on the entire planet. The plane touched down in Mumbai at around 1 a.m. East African time. The delegation worked through the night, completing all the necessary arrangements, securing Raila's body and preparing for the journey back home. At approximately 3:30 a.m., the return flight, now designated KQ-203, took off from Mumbai, and that's when the real magic happened. By 7 a.m. Kenyan time, over 5,000 people were tracking the flight, but the numbers kept climbing. 10,000, 15,000, 22,000. At its peak, more than 22,000 people were simultaneously tracking KQ-203. KQ-203, 22,000 people all watching the same plane. Kenya Airways, understanding the magnitude of this moment, made an announcement that brought tears to the nation. They declared that once KQ-203 entered the Kenyan airspace, the flight call sign would officially change from KQ-203 to RAO 001. RAO, Raila Amolo Odinga's initials. 001, the presidential designation, the call sign reserved for heads of state. At approximately 8:50 a.m., as the Boeing 737-800 crossed into Kenyan airspace, the transformation was complete. The plane was now officially RAO 001, the most tracked flight in the world, was now carrying Kenya's people's president home. Kenyans watching on Flight Radar 24 saw the call sign change in real time. Tears flowed, messages flooded social media, and the nation held its collective breath. "We are all traveling with him," one user wrote. At precisely 9:30 a.m. on October 16, 2024, RAO 001 touched down at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. The scenes that followed were unlike anything Kenyan had witnessed in recent history. But here is where the story takes an even more dramatic turn. As Kenyans mourned, musicians across the country have begun doing what they do best, turning pain into art, grief into song, and loss into legacy. On the very night Raila died, October 15th, Prince Indah took to social media with an announcement that sent chills down the spines of Kenyans. He posted a video of himself in the recording studio working through the night, as his message was powerful. The spirit of God Ramogi have descended upon me this evening, he wrote, referencing the sacred Luo spiritual heritage. He revealed that he was composing a special tribute song for Raila Odinga and it would be ready by the following morning before Raila's body even arrived back in Kenya. The song titled Word Oganda, Amolo 3-in-1 was set to be released at exactly 6 a.m. as time chosen deliberately before the sun has risen as directed by Jwogi, the ancestral spirit. Prince Indah wrote, "It's a dark Wednesday morning. The pain is beyond the world. Fare thee well, Baba." The Ohangla tribute captured everything Raila represented: his fight for democracy, his resilience, his connection to the Luo community, his impact on the Kenyan. Prince Indah had channeled his grief, his culture and his talent into a song that became the instant anthem of mourning. But Prince Indah was not alone. Bahati Kenya, the gospel-turned secular artist, who had previously collaborated with Raila on the campaign song Fire back in 2022, also joined the tribute. That original song had featured Raila himself chanting fire, his famous campaign phrase, and had become a viral hit. Now, with Raila gone, Kenyans are revisiting that collaboration, sharing it across social media, remembering the energy, the hope, the vision that Baba had represented. Other artists have joined in. Emma Jalamu, Lady Maureen and countless musicians from the Luo community and beyond have begun composing songs. This wasn't just about entertainment anymore. This is about cultural preservation. In Luo tradition, music is how history is remembered, how legends are immortalized, how the spirits of the great leaders continue to guide the living. So there you have it, the incredible, emotional and historic story of how Kenya and the world has responded to the passing of Raila Amolo Odinga. From Vybz Kartel's shocking tribute that bridged continents to Diamond Platnumz's emotional connection that has rebuilt as a Pan-African unity, from Prince Indah and Bahati's powerful tribute songs, from Kenya Airways' historic decision to change the call sign to Rao 001, to President Ruto and former President Uhuru standing side by side to receive the fallen leader. This wasn't just about mourning one man, this was about celebrating a legacy. This was about honoring a struggle, and this was about remembering that some leaders transcend politics and become part of the nation's very soul. Raila Amolo Odinga, Baba, Agwambo, Jacom, Tinga, the Enigma, the people's president, may rest in eternal peace. But his impact on Kenya, on East Africa and on the world will live forever. If this story moved you, hit that like button, subscribe to stay updated, and share this video with everyone who needs to know about this historic moment. Rest in power, Baba. Your journey has ended, but your legacy has just begun.